In short, while medicine is very advanced in technology, in operations, in observations, in diagnosis, it's very, very much backward in using our eyes simply because they don't believe it can be done. And one of the things that one should always know, and this is an old way of looking at science, is if you never ask the right questions, you'll never get to the right answers. So basically, when the idea is that vision cannot improve, when you say that in advance, and you don't ask yourself, if vision could have improved, what would we have done? That basically stops us from doing what we can do for our eyesight. So I think that instead of going to the school nurse and learning that your vision is poor when you're a kid, you should go to the school nurse learning your vision is poor. You should do exercises and see if your eyes can get better. And vision can get better. I learned again from Fernanda that only 1% of the Brazilian Indians are nearsighted, but 87% of people who live in Hong Kong are nearsighted. The difference is reading and looking at computers. So when we look very much from near, we create a shape that is adversarial to our needs. So, to begin with, let me tell you something that I've seen happening again and again in my work. And one of the brochures that I hope that you'll take here is the 6-day seminar. Even though most of the people here live in Europe, I learned that when people work with me on the vision for 6 days, 93% of them improve their vision. It was broken for me the last time where 31 out of 32 people improved their vision, but I was really surprised to see because I expected 65% of people to improve their vision. But over 90% of the people who work with me in 6 days improve the vision regardless where they start. And the improvement can be very, very massive. The best I had was somebody who used to see 2200, and at the end of the 6 days he saw 2080, which is a tremendous improvement from basically 20% vision to 50% vision, and then he was able to improve his vision even further. I think it's simply the atmosphere that is being created over 6 days of continuous work. It's 6 half days that makes a very big difference for people who work on their eyes. And I want to tell you about the harmfulness of glasses. I cannot do it better than talking to you about my own kids. My 2 children were born the way I was born, with cataracts. Now, the difference between them and me is that my surgeries were done at the age of 4. And the problem of that is that the brain forgot what seeing is all about. At the age of 8 weeks, the brain needs to see. And medicine in my generation was not aware of that important phenomenon. Thank God to the development of medicine in that sense. And the lenses of my 2 kids were operated at the age of 2 weeks. So when they faced the 8 weeks, they faced it with heavy contact lenses and with no obstruction, and they were able to develop the visual brain, which is so important to develop. Well, my son these days sees 20/15 with his glasses, 20/40 without them. Now, my daughter, it was very interesting. My daughter needed a lot of vision improvement exercise. Her vision decreased to 20/80, which is normally the vision of most cataract kids. And then we've done many, many exercises, including separating between the 2 eyes through blinking with them separately, and including ball rolling with patching her strong eye. Her vision now is 20/20. But I remember once, when when my ex-wife was waiting with my daughter to her physician, and she went to an optometrist, who gave her very strong glasses, and her vision was 2100 with those glasses. So then I went to the hospital, I put a patch over my daughter's strong eye, I got her to look with the weaker eye at the hills of San Francisco because we have a very nice view. We took a look, and then she came and saw her ophthalmologist. Now, the optometrist was new. The optometrist was trying strong prescription on her eyes. The ophthalmologist was a friend of hers, because he knew her from the second day of her life. And he started to kid with her, to joke with her. He said, I'm looking in your retina and I see that you have boyfriends. So she started to yell at him and said that she doesn't have any boyfriends. And then he asked her, what do you like to eat? So she says, pizza. And then he asked her, how's the pizza in the cafeteria here? She said, pizza. And before you know, she saw 2020 on the chart. 2100 to 2020 within an hour. I could not describe that any better than to tell you that when you go to the optician, quite often you will be fitted with glasses which are stronger than what you need, mainly because you may be stressed. My daughter was stressed with the optometrist and felt completely at home with her ophthalmologist, who operated her eyes, who saw her from the time that she was a baby, and who was a very special person. And that is the beginning of change. First of all, the belief. Second of all, the warmth, that there could be a change in our vision. And third, and the most important thing about that, is understanding how powerful our visual mechanism is. And even though I cannot reverse the scar tissue in my lens, I learn how to see with the bits and pieces of lens that remain. And this is a very big statement I want to make. And this is a function leads to structure. If you don't let yourself function in a better way with your eyes, then the structure of your eyes will not support better vision. And this is what is being done with us all the time. With the skepticism, pessimism, the fact that you are being given glasses as a first and last resort, rather than as the absolute last resort. Yet sometimes it's necessary, but mainly not. That is the reason that people's vision gets worse and worse with time. So I don't want to delay in any way. I want to start with you with some exercises, not before I'll tell you the principles. Sonia, can you give everybody the pages of big and small print? Grandi, pequeno, letters. So here are the principles. Number one, and the most important thing, is that you need blood circulation to your head. If you don't have enough blood circulation to your head, there isn't a possibility of any improvement with your vision. Because without enough blood circulation, nothing is elastic in your head. Nothing moves well. And by the way, lack of blood flow to the head is the main reason for glaucoma, if you ask me. And whenever somebody comes to me with glaucoma, I look at their neck and I see how stiff it is. Another thing that I could say is lack of blood circulation to the head because of a stiff neck leads to most blinding conditions of old age, like wet macular degeneration and many other problems. So poor blood flow to the head is something we should never live with, specifically. Muito obrigado. Mandou todos os papéis, 4 papéis. Obrigado. So, the most important thing is for you to know that you must have as good circulation as possible to your eyes. So let's start. I normally do it for 5 minutes, but we have a short lesson of an hour and a half. So let's start with 2 minutes of moving your head in rotating motion. So move your head in rotating motion in both directions. Move your head in rotating motion in both directions. I'm going to give you just 2 minutes. Normally I would give you 5 or 6 minutes for that. And try to feel the tension in your neck and tap with your fingers on your neck as you move your head in rotating motion in both directions. Breathe deeply and slowly. Do you mind if I told you the principles of eye exercises as you move your head in rotating motion? Go ahead. Can I?
Yeah.
We? We. All right.